The atmosphere on the set of Good Morning America that morning was far from ordinary. The energy wasn't just electric, it was volatile. Prince Harry was slated to appear in what was advertised as an open and honest conversation with veteran anchor Robin Roberts. But even before he walked on stage, whispers among the crew hinted that this might be more than just a friendly promotional interview. Dressed in a crisp navy suit, Prince Harry stepped onto the set with the same guarded confidence he had carried through years of public scrutiny. He greeted Robin politely, shaking her hand with a small smile. But his eyes flicked toward the camera with a wariness that only the deeply media-scarred understand. Robin opened the segment with warmth, welcoming him to the show and commending his work with veterans. "Prince Harry, thank you for being here. Your new documentary, Healing Ranks, is powerful and personal. Let's talk about what inspired it." "So far, so good." Harry leaned forward, speaking with genuine passion about mental health among veterans, the psychological wounds that don't show up on the outside, and how his own time in the British Army shaped his understanding of trauma. Viewers could see it meant something to him. But then, the tone shifted. Robin's next question came sharp, without a warning curve. "Harry, you've become one of the most talked about figures in the media, not just for your service work, but for your frequent criticisms of the royal family in the press. Some viewers feel it's hard to separate your causes from your controversies. Do you ever worry that you're overshadowing the very issues you care about?" Harry's jaw clenched for a moment before answering. "I think it's unfortunate that important conversations about mental health get buried beneath tabloid drama. But if speaking honestly about my experience gets even one person to seek help, then it's worth it." Robin nodded, unfazed. "But is that honesty always necessary in the form it's been delivered? Another book, another series, another interview, many believe it's less about healing and more about keeping the spotlight." The temperature in the studio seemed to drop. Harry sat back, arms folding slightly. "With all due respect, I find that line of questioning frustrating. I didn't come here to justify my life choices or debate media spin. I came here to talk about veterans who are suffering in silence." Robin didn't blink. "It's a fair question though, isn't it? The American public welcomed you with open arms, but now there's growing skepticism. Have you considered stepping back from public storytelling for a while, to let your actions speak louder than your headlines?" The camera caught a flicker of fire behind Harry's composed demeanor. He leaned forward again, voice quiet but firm. "You're turning this into a spectacle. If this interview is going to become another soundbite for gossip, then I think we're done." He calmly reached for his microphone, unclipping it while the control room buzzed into chaos. Producers frantically gestured from behind the camera, hoping to salvage the segment, but Harry didn't look back. He stood up, gave Robin a brief nod, and walked off the set as stunned silence blanketed the room. Robin, ever composed, turned back to the camera, her voice steady. "It appears our interview has ended sooner than expected. We'll take a quick break and be right back." The moment the feed cut to commercial, the studio erupted into hurried whispers and flashing phones. Within minutes, clips of the walkout exploded online. Viewers around the world were divided. Some applauded Harry for standing his ground, others accused him of avoiding accountability. Regardless of opinion, everyone agreed on one thing: Prince Harry's clash with Robin Roberts was a moment destined to echo far beyond the walls of the GMA studio. The fallout from Prince Harry's abrupt departure from Good Morning America was immediate and merciless. By the time the next commercial block ended, the internet had already transformed a tense live interview into a global firestorm. The clip of Harry removing his mic and walking off was everywhere: X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, accompanied by bold captions like, "Prince storms out," and "Royal meltdown on live TV." But the reactions weren't one-sided. Fans of Harry flooded social media defending his actions, accusing Robin Roberts and the network of orchestrating an ambush. "He came to speak about mental health and veterans. They came for scandal," one user tweeted. The sentiment spread quickly, prompting hashtags like #JusticeForHarry and #GMA failed to trend across multiple platforms. On the other hand, critics argued that Harry's behavior was petulant and dismissive. "He wants the perks of celebrity without facing any tough questions," said one commentator during a panel discussion on a competing news network. "You don't get to control the narrative just because you're a royal." Robin's defenders applauded her for staying composed under pressure, praising her professionalism in the face of what they called a royal tantrum. Meanwhile, inside ABC's executive offices, damage control had turned into full-blown crisis management. Senior producers were summoned for an emergency meeting, and public relations teams scrambled to prepare official statements. An initial network response was released late that afternoon. Prince Harry has long been a passionate advocate for veterans and mental health awareness. We regret that today's interview did not go as planned. Good Morning America remains committed to open, respectful dialogue with all our guests. Behind the scenes, however, sources revealed a much more chaotic picture. He walked off in the middle of a live segment, one producer vented anonymously to an online entertainment blog. That's not something you recover from easily. As of now, he's unofficially banned from returning to GMA, at least in the foreseeable future. The tension escalated further when the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, entered the conversation. She posted a short, pointed Instagram story just hours after the walkout, which read, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Speech balloon #protect your peace." The public didn't need much imagination to connect the dots. Almost instantly, media outlets interpreted the post as a direct jab at Robin Roberts, painting the narrative as a Markle versus media standoff all over again. British tabloids had a field day. The Sun ran the headline, "Meghan backs Harry in new media war," while the Daily Mail added fuel with, "Duke and Duchess lash out at US press in shocking turn." Adding to the spectacle, multiple celebrities weighed in. Oprah Winfrey, who famously interviewed the couple in 2021, subtly sided with Harry during a podcast taping, saying, "Sometimes people don't walk away, they walk toward peace." On the other side, veteran journalist Piers Morgan couldn't resist piling on, calling Harry's behavior, entitled nonsense, and, a masterclass in royal self-victimization. As the headlines multiplied, so did questions about Harry's future with the American media. Was this the beginning of the end of his carefully curated public image? Or just another scandal that would pass in a few days' time? One thing became evident: his ability to use the media as a platform for causes he cared about had taken a major hit. Advocacy groups that previously partnered with him began distancing themselves publicly, worried that association might mean drama over substance. And yet, even amid the chaos, there were voices of reason trying to pull focus back to the core issue, the veterans Harry was trying to help. One viral post read, "Y'all turned an interview about wounded soldiers into a celebrity circus. This isn't about Harry or Robin, it's about the people they forgot while arguing." But by then, the storm had grown too large to contain. One misstep, one uncomfortable question, and now, the fragile relationship between Prince Harry and the American media was in serious jeopardy. Whether it would mend, or fracture completely, remained to be seen.